Hello, I'm Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for March 31. Can a Jewish student back Israel? Jewish students are facing widespread hostility, as noted by Isaac De Castro, a Cornell student who published an article in the New York Daily News on March 29, 2021. I wanted to bring this article to your attention because it is vital that we understand that bigotry and hatred have many forms, and some of those long-standing types are ignored by social justice movements, if not perpetuated by it. You may have heard that the Jerusalem Connection has started a new initiative in 2021 to raise funds for a college scholarship, a full semester room, board, and tuition at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, where the student can take accredited courses within his or her major or interest and then transfer those back to the U.S. and continue his or her study and degree pursuit at a U.S. university. Well, our scholarship recipient does have to be a Christian with at least two full semesters of college under his or her belt, as well as a minimum GPA of 3.0, and answer some short essay question. The goal is to give an American student a first-hand account of the people, land, and history of Israel and take that knowledge back to their home campus in the U.S. as an eyewitness who has fallen in love with Israel, the Jewish people, and its entire culture and inhabitants. So, what is the problem of anti-Semitism on U.S. college campuses? We don't really see it in the news. We saw a few synagogues hit in the last few years, but wasn't that the fault of some fringe neo-Nazis and bad gun control laws? The only students facing discrimination and hostility on college campuses are people of color and alternative gender identities, right? They're the ones that are beat up, humiliated, banned from leadership positions. Isn't that true? That is why they need entire groups and clubs and professors to advocate for their safety and rights. Isn't that so? First, let me tell you that injustices on college campuses or anywhere against any person for any reason is not acceptable, and it should be combated, and Christians should lead that combat. I'm just requesting some consistency, because raising up one group over another for deserved justice is just another form of racism or bigotry. So what is happening to Jews on college campuses in America? Columbia University, Jewish students were spat on and called murderers on their way to class, and professors have openly told everybody that anti-Semitism is no longer an issue. Cornell, a student assembly member, was threatened to be outed to his family if he did not vote for a BDS resolution, boycott, divest, and sanction against Israel. University of Southern California, the student body vice president, and I've reported on this before, resigned from her position after being the victim of bullying and harassment, an understatement, for her identity as a Zionist. At Tufts University, a student judiciary member was silenced when discussing an unquestionably anti-Semitic referendum because his Jewish identity allegedly made him biased. These are just a few samples of what's going on. Keep in mind that Jews make up less than 0.2% of the global population and, aiming high, less than 3% of the U.S. population, but in 2019 endured 60% of the hate crimes, compared to 13 that were anti-Islamic hate crimes, and that also exceeds the number of crimes against Black people or individuals or property. So how can you help? Consider donating to our scholarship fund. Check our website for details at jerusalemconnection.us, and the website also has information on how to apply for the scholarship if you are or know any undergraduate students. Beyond college campuses, the expansion of anti-Semitic toxic ideology is evident throughout society, including in the government and in public education. The latest demonstration of this is by the newest edits to California's ethnic study model curricula, or critical race theory, which was passed unanimously by California's Board of Education and is being examined on the national level. The curriculum plans to teach children a racial hierarchy in which Jews are the only group described with the word privilege. Capitalism was cited as a form of oppression, along with racism and Islamophobia, but anti-Semitism is not noted one time. College professors and high school students and principals and teachers, they keep their jobs even as they publicly deny the Holocaust happened. Swastikas and anti-Semitic flyers and litter college campuses and communities, but this never makes the news and nobody ever seems to be brought to justice. To learn more about the deep history of anti-Semitism in our American culture and its tentacles into modern society and the Christian religion, and its endurance through the ages and the continuity of its manifestations with each generation, please consider a donation of $20 to the Jerusalem Connection and receive a copy of the newly released book, The Casualty of Contempt. This book examines the very topics and includes hope on how we can turn the tide. As a contributing author, I will sign the copy that you would receive with your donation. Check our website for how to order. You can be part of the solution. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.